You're listening to the Ask Drone U podcast. You ask, we answer your drone questions. Whether you're here to turn your passion into profit or you simply fly for fun, we're a community of learners and teachers who aspire to achieve greatness. We are
Drone U.
Happy New Year,
everybody.
It's a long one.
That is a long one.
That's because this year is going to go by so fast.
We're excited for the new year. 2017 is going to be a great year. 2016
was really spectacular, though.
You know what's really interesting is I've been just kind of seeing a lot of negativity surrounding 2016. Like, I'm so happy 2016's over. 2016 was horrible. And I'm just thinking, well, really?
Why?
I mean, the reality is tough stuff happens every year, right? But I think it's a perspective. It's a perception thing.
Totally.
I mean, I thought, yeah, it had its ups and downs like every year, but it was a pretty good year.
I thought things got better towards the end of the year once the political ads stopped.
Anytime the political ads stop, things get better.
Much better.
Absolutely. And maybe that's what it is. It's just that whole political scene that was so polarizing was a struggle for a lot of people. And I totally understand that. Nonetheless, 2017 is here. We're very excited about it. Hope you are too.
Yes, we are. And we would like to give you a little New Year's gift.
Uh-oh.
So we've got something coming up here, Rob.
What is that?
The 500. Wow.
The 500?
The 500.
Which is true. It's actually technically said correctly.
Really? That's
the
weird.
500, yeah.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have guessed
Is ending.
that.
Yeah. Anyway,
we're coming up to 500 episodes, which is a special time because normally we give away a free membership, but this time we're also going to give away a book. So if you go to askdroneu.com and upload a question, start the new year off with a bang. Get a free book. Live the drone life, escape mediocrity, escape spending time in traffic every day.
Can we clarify what you're offering there?
Free membership.
A free book. Okay, so I'll
saying... sign the damn book.
Okay, that makes it way valuable. So you're saying that the person who wins the free membership, which in case you're not aware or you've forgotten, we give a free membership
every 50 episodes.
A drawing every 50 episodes. That's right. To people that have had one of their questions played on the air. So what you're saying is we'll add a book on to that winner.
Yes.
Awesome.
Happy New Year.
I just want to know what I'm going to need to take care of is the reason I'm asking.
Sorry.
That. No, it's all
this
good.
is like every time I promise something and then Rob's like, oh, I'm taking care of that thing that you promised to someone 2 months ago. Like,
yeah, and for all of you out there that are still waiting for some stuff, I'm sorry.
You know what? I feel so bad because
I have no excuses other than I've sucked. But go ahead.
Brian Fassett, he's been like, dude, I need a Drone U shirt.
I know.
And you gave me one.
I did give you one.
You gave me one. And it's in the storage room.
Oh, suck a duck. No way.
I really need to send that to him,
Brian,
man. I really
sorry,
like Brian.
I remembered you, and we sent that shirt out there. There was a lot going on in Paul's defense.
Yeah,
it was a busy time out there.
There was. So anyway, I'm excited to actually show some of the footage that Brian did for us in the drone skating video. So very excited about that. Although I'm just not happy with the editing on it right now. So I'm just going to have to edit it myself.
Cool.
So anyway, welcome guys to another awesome episode of Ask Drone U 2017, first episode. Boom, baby.
Absolutely. Number 492.
And his name is Rob. And we're going to play a question now. But thanks to our sponsors, just really quick, we're starting this 2017 off hectically, it seems.
What else is new?
But it's still 2016 as we're recording this, so we're just getting the hecticness out of the way.
Barely.
Anyway, barely. Who cares what barely means? Anyway. Anyway,
that really
guys.
bothered you, that whole barely thing.
Anyway, guys, special thanks to our sponsors. We are our own sponsor because we give you the podcast for free. Anyway, but living the drone life, it's the insider's guide to flying for fun and for profit. So if you're ready to turn your passion into profit, go to Amazon.com right now or go to DroneUbook.com. It's a direct link and it's going to take you right to the book. You can buy it on Kindle or on paperback.
And soon you can hear Paul's lovely voice reading it, the audio version.
That is so true. In fact, would you like to hear a little excerpt?
Please.
Flimsy governance, the Skypan and Perker rulings.
I don't think that's how you're actually reading it.
That's not how I do it. I don't know. All right, I'll be real now. All right. Small changes over time create the most dramatic and profound effects in the long run. This is true in life and in flying drones. Understanding the foundational flight systems and how those work together will give you the best opportunity to become a great pilot. But it's important to first learn about the regulatory environment and how best to navigate it. Yep, another flight pun.
There you go. If that doesn't convince you to buy the audio version,
I'm not even sure it's out yet. I don't think it's going to be out by the time this podcast is out.
No, absolutely not. But it'll be out soon. It'll be out soon.
If you do wait for the audiobook, though, I do add a lot into the audiobook, as Ilker knows when he sits back there and listens. Because he'll always like raise the eyebrow and smile like, that's not in there.
It's kind of like an ongoing edit process. Or, oops, I should have thought of this.
It's so funny, too, because Andrew Baker, who I mentioned in the book, right, gives us 4 stars on the book. I'm like, dude, 4 stars? Are you kidding me? Really?
What kind?
And he's like, yeah, it was really good, but like, I thought 4 stars was good. I was like, well, 95% of your reviews are 5 stars. 4 stars hurts. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, really? I'm like, okay, tell me what's wrong with it. And he's like, well, it's actually a really good book for beginners and to get everyone on board. And I'm like, well, thank you. So why did you give it 4 stars? He's like, I don't know. I'm going to go change it to 5 right now.
I wonder if he did.
No, he said he did. I believe his word. I really do.
Sure.
Andrew is a good friend of mine living in Phoenix. He's a good guy. He really is a good guy.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Let's play today's question. Happy 2017.
Hey guys, love your podcast, and they're always informative. So I do real estate work, obviously, mainly photos, some video, some drone video and still work. I want to start adding interior video work to offer to the realtors. I watched your podcast on the Osmo, which I do have, as well as a Nikon D5300 with some decent glass. And comparing the Nikon D5300 video at 1080 60p to the DJI Osmo video at the same res. And I'm trying to decide which I should use. The Osmo on a tripod with, say, Lilichi for pans and tilts, or a D5300 on a slider and a crane. 5300 sensor is much larger than the Osmo, but the Osmo seems to have a higher bit rate, although I think they're both variable. But the Osmo sensor, as you know, is 6.7 millimeters by 4.55 millimeters, whereas the Nikon D5300 is 23.5 millimeter by 15.6. So with light being so much more important with video, I think maybe the faster lens with the much bigger sensor would produce the better results. But I've seen Osmo videos such as yours and others that the video looks very good as well. So what are your thoughts, and which would you use if you had those tools to choose from?
I think he's answering his own question. I really do, because he said, well, I look at your Osmo videos and what you've done, and it looks really good. There is a secret to good Osmo videos, and it's good light. Just straight, that's the secret.
Which means extra light, like bringing in light. But that's pretty much true for any shoot that you're going to do on the interior, right?
That's true, especially if you're doing photos. Having those lights is just so key and so imperative. I will say, though, he says, hey, my Nikon D5300, this is an A6300. This is a Sony version. I'm pretty sure Nikon uses Sony's sensors, if I'm correct. Or they're made in the same factory. I forget what the...
There's some correlation
There's
there.
some correlation there, yeah.
Interesting.
That being said, you've really got to think about this as a workflow. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to negate the deliverable for the workflow, because are you doing a lot of houses? Are you doing a lot of real estate? Because for me, I was trying to get in and out of a house in 90 minutes. And that proves difficult when you have one person, lights, cameras, drones, all of that. 90 minutes is really difficult.
It's almost 90 minutes as the setup and the teardown.
Yeah.
If you're not really on the ball and have a good system.
That's correct, yeah. So for me, I was trying to create a system. So the Osmo footage that you've seen from our 5 unique ways to use the Osmo, which we need to do a new 5 unique ways to use the Osmo there, Ilker. I don't know if you heard that. Because zoom adds so much flexibility and perspective. I love the Osmo because of the cinematic movements that you can do with the app. I think using Litchi for controlling the Osmo is totally overboard. Don't need it. Just use DJI Go. Sure,
okay.
sure you can program the same cinematic moves over and over again with Litchi, but it's so easy in DJI Go. I don't think it's worth getting Litchi for. Litchi is a great app for mapping. It's a great app for a lot of other things, but
I will say though, on the DJI Go app, it takes a little bit of practice to get good at understanding the feel and how, frankly, slow you have to go with your movements to get the shots you want.
well, anything
That was my experience.
anything takes practice, right?
Absolutely, but I'm just saying.
Well,
and
case study. You had the Osmo for 2 days in Alabama.
I did.
How long did it take you to really understand how to move it slowly? Because when I looked at your footage, it looked pretty good.
Well, actually, and that was just a pan. That wasn't using DJI Go on that particular shot that you're referring to. But it took me. I mean, it didn't take me long to figure out what needed to happen. It probably took me a couple hours of using it to actually get my movements.
But just a couple hours, like, come on, the learning curve is practically nothing.
Well, that's true. But even then, I mean, I wasn't doing anything that I was selling to a client, et cetera. I wasn't that worried about it. I just figured I'm just going to shoot all day. And
Clients are your kids, so you'll hear about it all night.
there'll be some good stuff in there. But no, I'm just saying, just making the point that DJI Go is awesome, but you just have to be aware that it's going to take a little bit of effort to make sure you're slowing things down.
Slow.
Which, we're not a slow people anymore,
we don't
right?
talk about things slow.
No, we're way too fast.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the point. If it's about workflow, it's all about how you can provide the best looking deliverable in the smallest amount of time. I mean, that's what a business is. It's optimizing over and over and over to create a higher profit margin and less work. That's really what it's all about. When I first got started, I used a Sony a6000, much like this one. This is a 6300 though. To do my movements, it's just so much harder. It's so much more equipment. He talks about, can I use my Nikon D5300 and do slides? Sure. Why can't you do a slide just using your arm though and moving really, 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 really slow? I mean, all right, I don't mean to get awkward, but if you're watching on YouTube, it's about to get awkward. If you're not watching on YouTube, subscribe to see some crazy things. This is how I do a slide. I'm just throwing it out there.
All right, let's.
Literally,
Here we go. Should I narrate this?
Yes.
Play by play?
Okay, so I'm going to spread my legs really
All right.
wide.
All right, so moving left to right.
Okay, I've got my hand out as far as I can go. And slowly moving.
When does the wrist turn?
Moving, it doesn't.
Never, okay.
Moving. So I can get like a 10-foot slide that way.
All right. Now, that said, you have put the Osmo on a slider, have you not?
No, I put the Osmo on a dolly cart.
Okay.
That's my secret to the slides.
That's right. Okay, exactly. Not a slider, but a mechanism to slide it across some space.
Yes. So in that 5 unique ways to use the Osmo, I show what's in my case. And it's a suction cup, it's a dolly slider, and a bunch of other stuff that I use to film real estate because I would take this one little case in there. It's literally like 16 by 8 by 12. Mm-hmm. And that's all I would need to go inside the house, and some lights. Boom.
Right.
There you go. One case. With a bigger camera, you've got the tripod, you've got the camera, you've got the slider. It's like all this equipment. So for me, locking in the settings on the Osmo so it can't adjust the exposure when it's, or exposure value, when it's moving, that's really important. But I would say, especially depending on the price of the deliverable, the Osmo and a drone, you can do just about anything. Now, if you're taking pictures, this entire equation changes.
Sure.
Because you're going to need a drone and a real camera.
Right.
Because your Osmo cannot take pictures, period. Yeah. Like, just, no.
Don't use it for that.
Now, if he's like, oh, well, I just want better video quality, blah, blah, blah. Let me ask you the dumb question here. Can your clients tell the difference? I mean, seriously, can they?
No.
No. They probably can't.
99 out of 100 of them probably cannot.
And they'll probably be like, oh, I'm sure I could tell the difference. And then you show them 2 shots and they're going to be like...
Yeah, not that you're trying to shortchange your client. You're still giving them really great quality with the Osmo.
True, but I will say... I think people appreciate small movements as if you're a human looking in the house than just like slides of the house and whatnot. And even if you watch HGTV, they've started using an Osmo. I think one of their producers listens to the show because I've been watching, we watched the, what is it called? Beachfront bargain hunt show.
Cool.
Because we want to...
Because you want to go find a bargain on a beach?
Yes.
I'm with you.
And they've started using Osmo shots. Like, I could totally see it's an Osmo. So anyway, it comes down to, what can your client perceive? How are you getting the job done efficiently? Because if you're doing a package where it's interior photos, interior video, exterior video, you're going to need to have everything he mentioned. You're going to need the Nikon and the Osmo.
Right. But for the video side of things on the interior, you would feel more than comfortable delivering with an Osmo.
And I have delivered over 36 videos to realtors just using an Osmo.
Cool. All right.
So, including the Premier Choice Mortgage office lobby
Nice.
video.
Nice.
That was in the 5 unique ways to use the Osmo video.
I totally forgot about that.
Yep.
Interesting. So I would think that's I would think that's good news for Rich, because it is, I would think, easier to use than a full camera.
It is a lot easier. The movements you can get, the fact that you can put it on a suction cup and just leave it somewhere and then just use your phone, and you're not even in the room, and you're really able to get those big, wide perspectives of the room, which is what realtors want to see.
That is a really cool feature that obviously you can't do with a regular camera.
No, how are you going to put a camera in the corner, the tip-top corner of a room to make it look as big as possible?
Well, and then control it.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So it's funny to see you develop with cameras and whatnot, because you're definitely you were not a camera guy.
No, and I have started to really increase my interest in that whole world. I don't have time to do anything with it yet, but I will.
Well, as your family
fun.
grows, you're going to realize how cool pictures
What do you mean
can take.
my family grows? My family's not growing.
I mean, linearly.
Oh, as they grow up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you can take some really cool pictures with them. So,
Yeah. Sweet.
Anyway, in fact, one of my favorite gifts to give people now is pictures. So,
Like all done up nice and edited and framed and
I'll be honest
whatever.
with you, half the time I don't edit them.
You don't need to.
You really don't. With this camera, not really.
Yeah. And who's going to know?
Sure, you can, and it's just going to make it a little bit better. But when you're giving it to your family, they're not going to be able to notice.
No.
Unless you have a photographer in the family, or a photographer is judging you, and then you can be like, check out my website for the cool stuff.
Well, and then you just don't give one to them.
Yeah.
You give them a gift card.
Beat you got wrong.
Oh. Wait a minute.
I don't know if that was right.
I don't think that was good.
Oh, no. If you're Spanish, I don't know what I just said.
I don't think it was good.
Anyway, that is going to do it for us today. Don't forget, go to droneubook.com. If you have a question, ask droneu.com. And if you want to turn your passion into a profit, make it into a business, and learn how to fly really, really well, become a member at thedroneu.com. That's going to do it for us today. My name is Paul.
I'm Rob.
This is Ask Drone U.